During the debate this week, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis took aim at former President Trump for skipping the second Republican presidential debate. DeSantis got the most speaking time, hoping to make a breakthrough on the stage this time around. But as Trump continues to hold a wide lead in the polls, could a strong performance help close that gap? We shall see. Joining us now to talk more about the performance of all of the candidates last night, specifically Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, national spokeswoman for the DeSantis campaign, Carly Atchison. Carly, thanks for being with us. So he came out of the gate pretty hot, announcing his candidacy for presidency, Ron DeSantis did. But in the polls, he's been pretty stagnant, didn't see a huge bump after the first debate. We'll see how folks think he did after last night's performance. Why do you think he's had a hard time gaining momentum and getting some traction?
I don't think he's had a hard time. I think people forget that this is September. We've got 4 months basically until January 15th, which is when the Iowa caucuses are. And then right after that, New Hampshire. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Ron DeSantis is building an organization to last. You saw in the most recent poll from CBS, there's one non-Trump candidate who's breaking double digits, 20% in Iowa. That's Ron DeSantis. And then you see us in a clear second in New Hampshire. So we're right where we need to be. He was the clear winner of last night's debate. Again, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Our job is to defeat Donald Trump at the ballot box first in Iowa on January 15th, not be at the top of the national polls in September.
But Trump is by and large the front runner, continues to be. Ignored the fact that a debate is even happening for a second time around. That has to be a kick in the gut. Your candidate was frustrated by it last night, as were others.
I think the American people are frustrated by it. Why is Donald Trump choosing not to show up? Especially in Iowa and New Hampshire, they want to meet these candidates, talk to them. You have to spend time earning their vote. Nobody is entitled to this. And so that's what Ron DeSantis is doing. He's showing up. Just like Joe Biden, Trump's campaigning from his basement, essentially. This is not the same Donald Trump from 2016. And so what we are focused on is getting our message to the American people, like last night in the debate, and then also taking it directly to the ground in Iowa, in New Hampshire. One thing I want to point out from that recent poll at CBS, there are more likely Iowa caucus goers who are definitely not supporting Trump than are only supporting Trump. What does that mean? Nearly 80% of those likely caucus goers are going to vote for somebody other than Donald Trump. So the idea that this race is completely in the lock for Trump is just not true. And so, look, we're going to continue to work all the way up until January 15th. We've got the best ground game in Iowa. He's the only candidate, Ron DeSantis, who is committed to visit all 99 counties. And so, again, we are in this for the long haul.
California Governor Gavin Newsom spoke with our reporter following the debate and said it's not close. The debate was not interesting. And he said it was basically a VP debate. Your campaign's response to that, and that's been a criticism across the board over the last two.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom does a lot of chirping. Why doesn't he get in the race so that he can make this case as an actual nominee? We'll see Ron DeSantis take on Gavin Newsom on a debate on Fox in November. I believe the date is set for November 30th. But look, at the end of the day, again, a lot of chirping on the sidelines. This is an operation that's built to last. Ron DeSantis was the clear winner of last night's debate. He was presidential. He outclassed everybody on that stage. The American people heard, maybe for this first time, about his record as governor, cutting spending, enacting universal school choice, his record of service in the military. And so, again, it's just about putting in the work, getting your message out. That's what Ron DeSantis did last night on stage. That's what we'll continue to do.
Earlier in our program, I spoke with representatives from the Nikki Haley camp and the Vivek Ramaswamy camps. I asked them the same question, so I'll ask it to you. Although your candidate, Ron DeSantis, is focused on the presidency, I asked them if he were to receive an invitation to be Trump's VP, would he accept it?
Ron DeSantis has answered the question. The answer is no. Ron DeSantis is running to be president of the United States. Maybe there are some other candidates in this race who are in it for different reasons, to be the vice president, to be a cabinet secretary. That's not why Ron DeSantis is running. He's running not to be somebody, but rather to do something for the American people, to deliver the same results he's been able to deliver to the people of Florida, to the rest of the country, cutting government spending, lowering people's taxes, getting gas prices back down to $2 in 2025. He made that promise recently, unveiling his energy policy in Texas. And so that's why Ron DeSantis is in this race. We're in it to win it. We're not interested in the vice presidency or any other cabinet position.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.